So my kids were in school. Which was acceptable. And just like, when the that Mr. Cooper, right? And they're both with the resident at the gate tonight. I thought it was pretty cool.
We are live.
Well, thank you for the work. Did you want to say closer to her? No, you're sure. I was hoping to get there before you got there.
Yeah, oh yeah, he texted me earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, Eric's not gonna be here tonight.
Mr.
He's
Don,
doing something silly like snowmobiling. He's up to Quebec.
Mr. Don, I believe will be virtual, and Doc. as you
And Doc,
know,
yeah,
Might
yeah.
be virtual.
Yeah, okay, good, thank you.
What's the Pittsfield Council Chambers? Is that the thing?
That one should work. Yeah.
And what's the,
It's, Pittsfield with a capital P, and then a semicolon.
would test me on that?
The one, two over from.
Enter.
Yeah. It should work. Yeah, John. I don't know.
Connected, secured. New laptop. so,
Jacob, one thing I want to mention to you,
Sir, how are you?
the automatic answer when people call in the town office is really long. It should be kind of
Okay.
slowed down, or, made a bit more efficient, I guess.
All right.
I will efficient, what you already do.
Not me.
Oh, I'm saying. I don't see that being possible.
No, I'm enlarging my sphere.
Oh, there you go.
I know, Craig.
Sorry, I love coming in the middle of a conversation.
I know, I'm with you, friend.
How you doing, sir?
I am well.
Steve. Bye-bye. I'll put that later.
Amy, how many people you have signed up for your self-defense class?
I'm not sure.
No.
Because the adult ed does it, but she did say there's still room.
Oh, good.
but-
Did you want to get in?
That's nice.
No, I just want to make it, no,
We're gonna check.
well, I was gonna offer my services as the dummy, if people wanna. My services to the community, right?
Get you in the red man suit?
Yeah, sure, that's something at least as big as the attack dogs use, right? Hi,
Hello,
Natalia,
how are you?
I'm doing well, how are you this evening? Good,
Mayor, hard out, 7:05, I'm gonna sound. Your efficiency, you were just bragging on, I don't see that being a problem.
all right. Yeah. We can do that. So, but every time you say that,
I know,
there goes your hand. I'm giving you that look.
do I, you put my name down there? No, I'm never asking.
I'm gonna go through the whole meeting like this. Any questions? No questions? All right, we're adjourned.
Kevin?
No.
Just saw your wife, Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, just make sure I'm on my appointment in time for the meeting. Squeezed me in, she's so nice.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
Well, he's good.
I noticed that the heater in the stereo was on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what
We
we
had
had.
a problem with one of the units upstairs.
That was, yeah, good.
There were some here that were cool.
Get out.
Go figure.
That is
Wow. Everyone would
O
ever guess.
OMG.
Yeah. OMG.
Right, that's a new thing for you. Learn that? Oh.
Getting jiggy with it.
So are you in the right place? Welcome to our. This is.
How are you?
Mr. Lux, how are you, sir?
Are you new in town?
Yes, I am. And
We've done our Wanderers program.
If you see him, just keep pushing
That's
him
right.
along.
I'm one of the 5,000 every day. I traveled really fast to get up here. I heard it was a great place to be.
It is.
I even brought-
That's good.
Yes. Everything checked off.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. Check. All Pittsfield Youth Rec Finals, is that what I read, something? Is that what happened, basketball, or is it, was that a face off this past weekend?
All of the youth teams made it to the semifinals, and then half of our teams made it to the championship, which is this coming Sunday.
Oh,
So it's still really fantastic.
nice.
Mhm. Oh, yes. So do you do this, Jan? You remember Maine Municipal System?
Yeah, MMA, yeah.
I didn't get in.
All the
Yeah,
council
I'm
members
sorry,
are,
yeah.
He's the deputy mayor, he got it all right.
He's like, the what?
Oh, yeah?
Saw nothing on my desk.
They hand deliver yours, sir,
Yeah.
Should.
you're the next level up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Give them a title, look at it, all right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Grand hat. Well, you don't have to remind me about the meeting next time, Jason, if you don't want this kind of abuse.
That's a good point, I won't.
It looks like it's gonna be quite helpful.
Oh, you got it.
You want some?
Did I sign all those?
How you doing? Good, you can sign my name if you want. Thanks.
No.
This year, have some of those.
Just about have. Just about have the simulator room done. It should be done by this weekend.
By your house?
Yeah, my garage.
For what?
9 foot by 12 foot, 4K screen. With projector,
Gee.
What's it for?
indoor golf.
No.
Oh, that's
It's
what I thought.
just like what's at the putter. But
At your house? Are you having us over?
You sure? Come on over.
Yeah.
Having fun?
We're trying to get it done for Sunday to get the Super Bowl on it, cause if.
Is the Super Bowl this coming weekend?
Yeah, Sunday, yeah.
What time?
6:30, yes. Trying to get that done.
I'm sure it's a halftime show, so I will be making sure. And Mackenzie is excited to listen to Rebus in the national anthem. That's what we talked about.
Rebus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You go wrong with her.
and happy birthday tomorrow.
And
You're welcome. Tomorrow's a birthday.
22 or
You
3?
didn't bring me anything?
Don't you worry.
I was
You
thinking-
signed your expense warrant. You're welcome.
One- I wonder for the youngest town manager
I don't
that
know.
the state of Maine has seen.
I doubt it.
You don't think so? Close.
Too close, that would
Pretty
be.
close.
No, I'm watching.
It's like on the office.
I can see it. Then pick me up, actually. Oh.
This is it, I think.
We'll do a presentation, we'll do, Microsoft,
Eric's not coming,
No,
and Dr. Margolski's not coming.
He will be possibly remote and counted on if he was remote.
On soccer.
we'll circle back. We'll circle back. So we've got Heather on board as doc in yet?
I have not seen him.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
He was having some trouble.
Okay, yeah, he said he's gonna try to by text. So he can take part in the meeting. And we've got 4, so good thing there's no issues that are kind of wind up the general populace.
no.
I don't know, Chris. I take it back. I take it back. So we got 5. Faster, I thought, so.
Clock is slow.
It is, but I feel.
Mhm.
Please.
Kept saying, solve that solution, which I guess I asked to.
It's either good
Or
or
resolve, or dissolve.
Resolve.
Resolve it. Adopted.
You 3 yeses and a thank you and all that. And the back.
Short and sweet.
3 yeses and a thank you.
3 yeses and a thank you. Oh, good.
How you operate?
Craig, those are words to live by.
There you go. Love it.
3 yeses and a thank you. Live every day by that.
That's right. Whatever.
With your name, Craig Justice, yes. Were you speeding? Yes.
That's right.
Are you willing to let me search a vehicle? Yes. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Listen to what he said.
I get 3 squared an hour of exercise every day.
And they do the laundry.
That's it, they do.
Now, wow, 3 hots in the car, you can't beat it.
You know how much I sleep?
Free dental and medical all at the same time. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Did we have another TV up here? I thought we did.
Mhm.
See my favorite things.
Up close and personal.
It's very.
Well. Say that I love it.
It's very blurry on you though.
Good.
I want the lens is dirty.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Look at the position he has in the town. He's such a wallflower.
What do you got?
Look at the out there. Shit.
Here's
Oh, yes, sir.
We're-
I'm set to tell him they're gonna expect it. I'm gonna go way overboard this year.
Yes.
Detroit.
No, you're not. Oh, no, you're not.
There's nothing on the issue. Why is he go again? It's girl basketball. Listen. It wants to manage. Right. Like that, right. Sure. Everybody gave himself.
All right. I'll call the meeting to order. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and everybody out there in TV land. Welcome to the February 6th, 2024 Pittsfield Town Council meeting. To start the meeting, I would like to invite everybody to stand and pledge allegiance. Take pledge allegiance with you, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. So with that, I'll ask for a moment of silence, please. All right, thank you all very much. So before we get into the adoption of the minutes, just to let everyone know, we have Councilor Donahue that is in on Zoom. So what we'll do for the vote, we will poll the council one by one, make sure everyone's heard and we have the votes recorded correctly. So with that, let's move on to the adoption of the minutes.
Make a motion that we adopt minutes of regular meeting on January 4th, 2024.
Second.
Moving to second. Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions or comments on the minutes from the last meeting, January 4th? All right, very well. Heather, jump in anytime if you have anything to say, okay? Okay, excellent. So hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote, and I shall start with Councilor Hall
Aye.
and Councilor Hall. Councilor Jester,
Aye.
Councilor Donahue,
Aye.
and I vote aye, so the adoption of the minutes pass. Thank you, council, and let's move on to number 5, presentations, congratulations, and introductions. Jacob, none this evening, very well, thank you, sir. And our efficiency is rapidly rising. So we'll move on to number 6, public hearings. There are none scheduled for this evening. Number 7, reports, and let's go to Jacob for the town manager report, please.
Thank you. Good evening, council. I have promoted Tina to the finance director position in our finance department. As you all know, that was a position created during the 2024 budget process. Tina's doing a very good job getting settled, despite me throwing an awful lot at her. Tina, she will fully transition into this position like the new employee for the front office. Applications for that closed at the end of January, and we have a total of 8 interviews scheduled this week. I'm pleased to say that Russell Kraft, our current animal control officer, has accepted the position of full-time code enforcement officer. Russell has made a very positive impact on the community in a short period of time, and I'm confident that he will continue to do so in this new capacity. His employment is contingent upon him receiving CEO certification within 12 months, which is state law, and I have no doubt that he will do that. Al Tempesta has agreed to stay on for a little while to show Russell the ropes, and the council's confirmation of this appointment will be on the February 20th agenda. A job well done to our police department in their execution of a search warrant in St. Albans this past weekend. During that search, several thousands of dollars worth of contractor tools were recovered. And this is just one example of the excellent police work that our department is doing, all the while continuing to bring the community together through their many great events. So a job well done to you guys. And with that being said, the police department is bringing back the Easter egg hunt. It will take place at the Pinnacle Ski Club on Saturday, March 30th, starting at 11 a.m. And they will also be hosting a coffee with the cop event before the council meeting from 4 to 6:30 on Tuesday, March 5th. Absentee ballots are now available for the March 5th presidential primary election. The deadline to request a ballot is 5 p.m. on Thursday, March 29th. And as a reminder, all ballots must be received back by 8 p.m. on election night. And finally, I have a meeting scheduled with Don Ettinger of Goral Palmer on Monday. At that time, we will coordinate a date for the full committee to review their initial concepts for the Main Street project. And that is all.
All right, Jacob, anything you want to highlight on the department head reports?
Nope, they are included in your packet.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Jacob, can we get the grant administration to
Yeah.
do a monthly report?
I have asked her to do that. Usually
Okay.
in December, she wasn't in that.
Yeah. Okay, great.
For January, she was.
Great, thank you.
Excellent point. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jason. Let's move on to old business, none scheduled for this evening, and we will move on to number 9, new business. Jacob, if you would please, resolution 2424.
Resolution approving the agreement with Humane Society Waterville area in the amount of $7,659.68 for the 2024 year.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 24, TAC 24.
Second,
Moving to second, thank you very much. Let's open to the audience. Anyone in the audience wish to comment on resolution 24-24? Very well, I'll close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-24?
Nothing new, chief. Oh, you're good. I just.
No, chief works. Nothing new. No, it's all based on per capita of the town. That's how they do the charging.
Good, thank you.
Thanks, chief.
Did we resolve the issue of them not taking cats? Was that due to a capacity for them, or was that due to a quarantine situation?
Actually was due to both. And I learned that a lot of these cats are feral. They're considered feral cats, and they don't take feral cats. Even at a young age, sometimes as early as 12 weeks, they consider them feral. So wild, basically, and they won't take them. So, and not just them, none of them will take them.
Okay, thanks.
I don't know who will get.
Heather, you all set?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the officers or the control officers is picking up a cat, how do they know if it's going to be accepted or not? Do they just assume if it doesn't have a collar, it's a feral cat, or?
Well, a lot of times it depends on where it's located, the condition of the animal, and sometimes people will say, that's my neighbor's cat or something like that, but, yeah, you can pretty much tell a feral cat how it interacts with you as opposed to a cat that's a pet. It's gonna, maybe try to interact with you a little bit. A feral cat, they're gonna be bouncing around the cage and trying to get out, so.
So, this might not be a different conversation, I don't know, but so what are the officers supposed to do if they end up catching a cat that's being a nuisance and then they can't take it to the Humane Society?
Well, the animal control officer will take it, and there's places that the animal control officer can try to rehome it. There have been some that will take a feral cat, but they're not the society itself.
Okay. Thank you.
I know of a dairy farm on the Web Road could use them.
No, no cats, no cats,
I'm just trying to be helpful.
nope.
All right.
No way.
All right, council, anything else? Very well, here and now, I sense we're ready to vote, and I will start with Councilor Natalia Hall.
Hi.
Deputy Mayor Hall,
Aye.
Councilor Jester,
Aye.
Councilor Donahue,
Hi.
And I shall vote aye. Resolution 24-24 passes. Thank you, council. Jacob, let's move on to resolution 24-25, please.
Resolution appointing members to various boards and committees. I'll just go through them quickly here. The Board of Ethics, we have Mike Gray. Parks and Recreation, we have Benjamin Hall, Jeremy Fennell, Elizabeth Ross. Personnel Appeals Board, Mike Gray, Kelly Carter. Planning Board, we have Thomas Cody and Brent Newhouse. Recycling Committee, Paul Ryan. Area.
All right, I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 24-25.
Second.
Move to second. Any questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Very well, I'll close the public input. Council, questions or comments on resolution 24-25 with the names listed? Everything looks good? All right, very well. Here and none, I sense we are ready to vote. I will start with Councilor Natalia Hall,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Hall,
Aye.
Councilor Jester,
Aye.
Councilor Donahue.
Aye.
And I shall vote aye. Thank you, council. Resolution 24-25 passes, names as listed. Let's move on to resolution 24-26, please, Jacob.
Resolution approving the expenditure of up to $48,000 for the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 police responder. Be paid for out of the police cruiser capital improvement reserve.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Motion that we adopt resolution 24-26.
Second.
Moving to second. Thank you, council. Anyone in the audience wish to speak? We'll probably have questions, so. All right, close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-26? Very well. Hearing none, I sense we are ready to vote. I shall start with Councilor Natalia Hall, please.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Hall,
Aye.
Councilor Jester,
Aye.
Councilor Donahue.
Aye.
And I shall vote aye. Thank you, council. Resolution 24-26 passes. Let's move on to number 10, discussion items. Jacob, goals and objectives, anything you want to discuss on that specifically?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I would just say this is, like I said to the council, this is something that we always did at the beginning of the year in the previous municipality that I worked for. It's a good time for the council to kind of set their priorities and what they're looking to accomplish for this year, and it gives administration and my staff kind of a good roadmap as to the direction that you're looking to head in, so.
Okay.
Normally, it's just kind of a matter of bullet point items, that's what we're looking to do, and it's always good to revisit this at the next time, at this time next year, to see kind of what we did and what we still need to work on, so.
Okay, excellent. I think one thing I will bring up about the charter review, working on that this year and hopefully having some, we will have something ready for the vote this November. So we get a chance to discuss that and put that on the list. So with that, I shall open to public comment. Anyone in the audience have any questions or comments or anything like to discuss or bring up? No, I'm not gonna put you on the spot if you don't feel like it. Okay.
I heard about it.
Yeah. There's a whole process to it now. I see why you didn't want to do it.
Yeah, say where you live too.
We're gonna put wheels on that, so. we can kind of work.
If elected, no. I think, rumor has it that you all got something written up today,
Mhm.
and just to give you a little history about that. I actually did that about 2 years ago. And we were kind of finishing up the bicentennial activities and so forth, and the committee was just kind of sitting around. And so we started a discussion on certain things. And so most of the time, for never being at a loss for words, except for right now, began to write some things down and to talk about,
And I think the basic question behind that whole thing, and I know you mentioned, goals and objectives for each year, but I think that the bigger question needs to be, where do we want to be as a town 10 years from now? And what do we need to do now in the early stages? The town is, my wife and I, family moved to town about 20 years ago. And even in that 20-year period, it's changed significantly. And, driving down Main Street, I won't say it brings tears to my eyes, but it's a challenge right now. The other side of the coin is one of the things that Barb and I started this 9 years ago now, is the summer concert series. And that thing has kind of taken off it's crazy. Because when we first started that, we had a few bands come in and all that kind of stuff. And I would say at least the last 3 or 4 years, we probably average anywhere from 175 to as many as 500 people at one of those. But most of those people are coming from away. And so if there's things in town that they could see, and I think, the thing that many in the police department did last summer in August, and those kinds of activities, it's nice to draw people from towns to those, but it's also kind of nice to be able to get people from away to come in and say, oh, maybe this isn't a bad place after all. The only thing I'll really take credit on in all of that, though, is when you drive into town and it says Pittsfield, and underneath it says a good place to call home. Because that was supposed to be a contest and nobody submitted anything. So, had to come up with something. But that hangs in there forever because it is a good place to call. We're close to 95. We have a hospital, we have a good school system and so forth. We just need to be able to, and I think, again, it was nice to hear the list of people that are signing up for the committees. Because I know over the past few years, that's been a real challenge. And, the more people feel comfortable with the town and that their thoughts and expressions and everything are going to be heard, they're going to volunteer for those kinds of things. And, I'm a little upset with Deb Short because she only has 40 members in the garden club right now. That's just great. But we have some other things that we need to think about. The depot. And some other activities. And so, it's not gonna happen overnight. But, and the other thing I've talked about in the past, I don't think I've done it here. When new people come to town, it's nice to walk up to them and say, hi, my name is, here's a little bag of, some things that are happening in town. And oh, by the way, we have some committees that have some vacancies on them. Which one would you like to join? Get it before they even get out of their car. So, but if you start early like that, and there's a little recognition for what they're doing, I think we can be way far ahead in a few years from now. So that's my purpose of some of the stuff that's down there, and a couple of charter changes also, just to make it into the 21st century or whatever century.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, it is. Some of that's from way back.
Yeah, I hear
But those were just some ideas to maybe kick something off, so.
Thank you.
I thought it was really helpful, so thank you for sending it. Really helpful.
I did find out a piece for those.
Oh, I don't need it, actually.
Just the idea of that process of it and so forth. In my previous life, I used to do this in connecting with the school districts, but I also did it for Maine Municipal Association to get groups together. So I think, and the person on the screen there, we talked about that a couple of years ago, but we never really got anywhere. I think now
We had a plan. And then COVID happened and that was that.
now, but it's not too late to start. So,
Nope.
and I think that'd be a great place for cats, by the way. She didn't hear.
Thank you, Jen. All right, anyone else in the audience? All right, very well. I will close to public input, and I shall start with Mr. Deputy Mayor Hall. Anything you'd like to bring up this evening?
As far as that list goes.
Anything at all?
Yeah, so goals.
It's the end of the meeting, so anything you want to talk
I
about?
thought we had two different sections here. Well, so my goals and objectives. I mean, I think healthcare is high on our list. I think we've missed out on some candidates that we could have hired, but that was kind of the sticking point, and we missed out on those folks. I think healthcare is important for employee retention. You want to keep good employees, you gotta step it up. Everybody else is. We're gonna have to stay there with them. I don't know. The last time healthcare was kind of reviewed or looked into, or so I don't know where we stand in the grand scheme of things. So I think that's probably my top priority. Obviously the charter this year with the you're gonna get huge election turnout, and you need, a certain percentage to actually adopt charter changes, so this year is the year to do it. Town website, I think Jacob and I have kind of talked about that, and we're kind of waiting for some IT changes to happen and some other things, but town website needs a lot of work, and that's the first thing anybody's gonna go to. It's the first thing they see. They don't have to drive through town. They can see that first, right off the bat, and know that they can't operate it. So, I think having a good website would be important, and we have plenty of talented people in town, or a talented company that's close by that can probably revamp that pretty easily. And then obviously a paving plan is kind of on my list, but that's maybe, lower down on some other people's lists, so. But that's, I think that's something that, Donnie and you guys can kind of take on yourselves. It's not, you don't need much assistance from us, I don't think, so. Those were my big hitters of that. I guess this is my closing comments as well. I just wanted to check in on the water quality root cause. I've had some residents kind of wondering why that's been coming up as of late, last summer, recently. I think, I don't know if that was in the description of what was put out there, but it sounded like we've kind of fixed the issue and it shouldn't be an issue again. It was like kind of a roll down effect from us trying to help out.
Yeah.
SVH and some other things, I guess, but anyway, so that is good. We still have street lights in industrial park. There are no street lights in industrial park. That's still a huge safety hazard. There's a lot of people walking from A. Robinson, from Duncan, from wherever to the trailer park. That's right there, and that's just a super dangerous spot. There are some telephone poles that are there, so I don't know how difficult it would be to put lights on those poles. Might cost us some money, but I'd rather be proactive and keep people safe than reactive after there's somebody that's been run over. So I don't know if that's a letter to CMP, what that might be, but I think, I don't know, I'd support it, and I think we should do it.
I believe it's, not to interrupt you.
No, that's all right.
I believe it's a matter of us purchasing the lights, then CMP. As long as they're CMP owned poles, they put them up. Then
Okay.
We pay them a monthly fee, just like we do all of our other street lights.
Right,
So,
okay.
so we can certainly work on it.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what a street light costs, but I think it's a drop in the bucket really when it comes to, safety of residents. I think, the town audit, do we have an update on that?
I spoke with Ron Smith today. He said that the audit is in their quality control department, which I believe is one of the last steps before we see it, so
Okay.
it should be soon. I know I sound like a broken record.
No, that's all right. That's, yeah, it's good to know. long overdue, so that'll be good. And then, where are we at with like, putting the paving, out to bid for our summer paving? I know in years past, we've waited until May, June, like way too late in the year. I'd rather, you know, if doing it now would benefit us, let's do it now.
The problem is a lot of their office personnel, Jason, right now are tied up. Some of them are actually laid off.
Yeah,
So I was told we could have it ready for the first or second week before.
okay.
You can't have it, they can't hear you at home.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so we said it needed to be ready for first or second week of April, Heather.
Okay,
Is that based on support from. You know, offices, I guess. All right, that's good. Long as you're on it, that's good.
I'm on.
All right. And I think that's kind of all I have for tonight, I guess.
What's that?
Yeah.
All right, Natalia, let's go to you next, please.
So for goals and objectives, I thought that this was a helpful starting point, so I really appreciated getting that in my email this afternoon. So I read through that, and what jumped out to me, actually is recognition of community volunteers. That's something that I've had on my mind. There's a plaque, on the wall in the hut at Hathorn. And you can see each year who the volunteer of the year was for the community. I think that's really awesome. We have a ton of people that are stepping up as of late. I'd love to bring that back and happy to help do that or lead that. I don't want that to be more work for anyone else. And then just super interested in the Main Street work. So I feel the same way. I drive down Main Street and it's depressing. And when I ask myself, what do we do? I don't know yet, but, I'm not as up to speed as probably the rest of the group. Would you mind just real quick, letting me know where are we at and what is the plan for Main Street?
Right now, we are waiting on the initial concept from Coral Palmer. We haven't even seen that. I haven't seen that. Nobody has seen that yet, so.
Any idea what it will include?
Well, the project that we're talking about deals with accessibility. So it's talking about your roadways, your sidewalks, you know, bike paths are all often you know, part of that, but sometimes there's the ability to kind of include some rather extracurricular things in projects like this, and so, but the biggest part is the accessibility of Main Street. And the proposed area, I believe that has been discussed, goes from MCI all the way, if I'm thinking correctly, all the way up to the hospital. So I believe that's correct. So it's a pretty large area that has.
I think it actually goes to the industrial park driveway.
Industrial.
I think so.
It's a long stretch.
So from Industrial Park to SBH?
Right.
That's great. Okay, any idea of when we'll expect to see something, even if it's super preliminary?
I'm meeting with Coral Palmer on Monday, and our intention is to schedule a committee meeting sometime this month. So this month, we should be seeing the initial concept.
Exciting, thank you. That's it for me.
All set.
Thank you.
I've heard conceivably from start, when this project gets done, it's gonna be at least another 5 years. It's gonna be a long-term project. Like we started talking about that, what, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, Heather? It's been quite a while, so. All right, excellent point. Councilor Jester.
It's not a ton tonight. Again, for the goals and objectives, to kind of even focus in a little bit more than the Main Street, is specifically the theater. I think we kind of, as a council, kind of laid that aside for a while we dealt with some other more pertinent issues last year, and I think that needs to be brought back up and refocused for us. So that's a big one. Other than that, I guess that's about it for me. No comments. Other than that.
Just a quick note, the insurance for the theater is done in June.
Yeah.
So we cannot carry insurance on that building after that, so,
We run the risk. That's not set in stone.
Oh, really?
We run the risk.
well, I'll take that. Compared to what I've just said. Okay, all right, thank
Not
you
to
for that.
correct.
Anything else, Craig?
No, that'd be it. Thank you.
All right, Councilor Donahue, let's go with you, please.
Okay, like Jan said, a lot of the items in the list that he had are things that, he and I had talked about when he was on the planning board, as the chairperson, and we had kind of laid out as, things to think about and to work on. So I think that's still, all those things still stand, even with all the changes that are coming with the Main Street project and, have happened in the last 4 years, 5 years. The theater was at the top of my list too, so I'm glad Ron had mentioned that. Um, transfer station operation review is something that we had talked about during the budget season, talking about the availability of staff, being able to hire people to staff it adequately so that our staff that's there can actually have days off. I'm really, really concerned about the fact that we have staff people that are consistently not able to take their vacation and sick time that they're due, because they're needed to cover shifts because other people are out. So that's a priority for me, is to kind of like do a review of the operations, more from a standpoint of, are there services that we are doing now that are not cost effective or that don't benefit the town? Yes, we're providing services to other towns, and that's nice to be able to help them out. But when it's creating a crunch on our staff to be able to do those services, I don't know that it makes sense for us to continue doing that. And then also the hours of the operation, it's open quite a lot, more than any other town that I've ever been in. And so that might be a way that we can adjust some of the hours to be able to relieve that, that workload over there. Um, and another item that I had on my list, and we've talked about this before, is doing an inventory and cataloging all of the property, like real estate property that the town owns, doing an assessment of that, cataloging it. Is it valuable for the town to hold on to it? I mean, are we holding on to things just to say that we own it? It doesn't make sense to me to do that when somebody else could own it and being paid taxes on it. And even possibly develop it in some way to benefit the town. Same thing with our town woodlot, the management of that, whether or not we need to have, I'm not even sure when the last tree management plan was done or an assessment of that. And that goes along with the town woods, whether that can be developed for further recreation. I know there's been concern about bears over there. So that might be something that we have to deal with. And if, it's not safe for people to be using because there's bears there, then, why do we have that designated as an area for the town for recreation? And maybe we need to do more development in Manson Park for walking trails instead of out behind that other building that we have. Comprehensive review, comprehensive plan review is something we've been kicking around for years. It should have been done a year ago now. It should have been done last year. So that's something that should be top of mind for us, and going through and doing that. As part of that, Maine Farmland Trust has staff that help do parts of the comprehensive review for towns, and they have municipal staff that can help with that. And I think that we should lean on some of the professional services that are available from community type organizations to help communities like ours to forward that project. Charter review was already mentioned, and some of the items in Jan's letter here outline some possible changes that we can have discussions about. There's also been other items that the council has identified as wanting to change. And there's also just some cleanup of operations that needs to happen as we go through with that, how we've changed different operations. The signs, and this kind of like peak, I think this could be a project for peak to fund, to redo the signs that welcome at the ends of town on Route 100 on either end, and then also Route 2. Though they're looking a little sad, the paint's peeling, the one right off the interstate, they need to be updated. And I also talked to the Maine Cheese Guild about possibly funding a sign that says Home of the Maine Cheese Festival, so that we can have that as a way to promote the town as well in a year-round way. If the council's amenable to that, the Cheese Guild is willing to fund those signs for the Cheese Festival. Another item that the council has talked about a couple times is doing a bi-weekly payroll instead of a weekly payroll in order to relieve some of the staff work around that. Assessing services of the rec department, and this is something I had talked with Ben about a couple years ago. Really incorporating more community services with that, and that not just scheduling for sports, to really serve all of the community with seniors and like kids that don't do sports, whether it be arts or computers or other programming and things like that, to help people explore and expand. Speaking of the volunteering, Spirit of America Awards is something that we usually address at this time of the year. And Jacob, I don't know if your former town did that. It's something that Pittsfield has always participated in as far back as I can remember. And we pick a volunteer. There should be a list floating around. And then the council usually makes additional nominations. And then we make a nomination for that and vote on it and send that name in. And have that be a community designation for a volunteer. And I don't know if that's the same list that Natalia was referring to on this at Hawthorne Park, or is that just volunteers that helped with the park maintenance or anything? Do you know, Natalia?
Yeah, I think that was specifically for Hawthorne Park. I didn't see anything that said it was associated with Spirit of America, so I think that would be different. Yeah.
So probably
I haven't
people
heard
that
this
helped. Okay. And then the rail trail gets a lot of use, whether it be four-wheelers, dog walkers, bikers, just walkers. But the town doesn't really do any maintenance to it. And I think that if we can really think about where to develop parking for people so that when they come to town, there's a designated spot for them to park, and then to be able to access the trail easily with whatever mode they're on. And also some rehab of that. I know there was some work done. Was it just last year, Donnie, that those trees were trimmed when the golf course was having some work done on the trees?
We also graded 1.4 miles of that trail. We also installed a culvert and replaced the bridge. So we've done quite a bit of work. on the trail.
You have done, okay. I think that's the end of my list. That was my list.
There's the rail trail, the one that goes by the depot.
Yeah, it goes up and connects to Heartland. It goes under, they did, there's like a lighted underpass under the interstate now for it that they redid a few years ago when they were doing the overpasses. A friend of mine walks her dogs on it almost every day. They walk for miles on it. But there's grant money available for that as well through the state rec department type development things. Usually they come up in the spring.
That could be a good focus for capital. All set, Heather?
That's what I got.
All right, thank you very much. I'll try to be as brief as possible. We're a couple of minutes in here, sorry. So just for clarification, I think the town land is not a walking path. I think those bears make it a running path. So just so we all know. I've been writing down a couple notes here. Have we worked with Caleb Curtis on open house for the hangar? Have we done anything on that?
Not yet. I think we were wanting to wait for it to get a little warmer out.
Okay, all right, very good. And will you have an opportunity to update the photos of the
I will do
current councils? Okay, appreciate that. Excellent work with the CEO getting that done, and I think he's going to do an excellent job doing that. So I'm glad that we finally have a full-time. It's been much too long for that, and what we've been talking about as council for much too long. Now we have teeth behind the dog, so I'm glad that we're able to get that done. Quick follow-up, the Public Works Building roof. Where are we with that?
I just got a contact.
Please.
Yeah, I just got in contact last Wednesday, Victor Kaufman. We picked the dark gray color for the roofing. The roof has been ordered. So once that comes in as a 2-week lead time, he's telling me probably around the 1st of March, it should be well on its way. So
Excellent.
that's installation. So everything has been ordered. I've seen a confirmation of slip, so hopefully we'll have a new roof
Nice.
before it's done. So,
Yeah, good, excellent. Thank you for following up on that, Donna. You too, Jake, appreciate it. Another thing, the goals and objectives. I know we have a couple people that aren't in this evening. Could you send out an email to the council? Kind of identify, because we were kind of shotgunning here what we want to have on this list. I like the idea of the list. We want to make it a controllable list, because if we have goals and objectives, that's a 1.5 bullet points. I think we're gonna miss the whole idea of it. So more big picture, 10,000 foot view kind of stuff. If you want to kind of define it more, because I know you worked it at other places, and kind of give us an idea what you're actually looking for on that, if you would, please. And couple things, Heather, it's like you read my mind about the town properties. I was just talking 2 days ago with one of my neighbors about one of the properties that Pittsville has on the inaccessible end of Sibley Pond on the north end, and what that could do, and you market it to the other property owners around there, and about the sign. Now, this is really weird. 3 days ago, I was driving along Route 2 back home, and that sign where it crossed from Palmyra into Pittsfield, where the power lines go over, there's a sign there that's welcome to Pittsfield. It's really sad shape. I'm thinking, I wonder what it's gonna take to get that updated or get it repainted and whatnot. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's something that I had actually noted myself too. So thank you for that. So what I wanted to bring up very briefly, we've all said about the charter. We want to do a quick review and at least get it started, get the conversations going, have something that's solid and ready to go by this November. And I have complete faith we will, with time to spare. So what I'd like to do is first, thank you, Jane, for that list, excellent list to go from. So what I'd like to do is invite the council to start thinking about it in the next, not the next meeting, but the next one after that. Let's have a list. What you want to see specifically to the charter. There are some things that we want to do in the town to change. The rec department's one, the CEOs, and all we've already taken care of. But specific to the charter that requires the process for the vote and the change and whatnot. So if you could, if you have your copy at home or online, take a quick look through that. I know there are a couple of high points that we've already discussed, but if we're gonna go through it, let's hit all the areas that need to be done. Something that's outdated needs to be removed, or something needs to be put in, or anything like that. So let's start to think about that, if we will, please. I just wanna end up very quickly. Last meeting, I had hoped to mention something about this. It's been a month. Dino Frost had passed January 8th, and anyone who's been in town for any amount of time knows Dino, Roland, and Forrest, and the Frost brothers, and how the nice people that they are, just fantastic people. They just wonderful people, wonderful family. I know all their kids, and Brent Frost, that was his dad, and of course Jason's grandfather and Natalia's grandfather by proxy, but still your grandfather. So I just want to acknowledge that. I just quick note here, Petrarano, Italy is where he was born, and that's 10 kilometers from Sulmona, where my grandfather was from. So we're very, very close related. So it's it was an awful shame that we lost such a good man, but he's part of the history of this town. So I just want to kind of acknowledge that, and my thoughts go up to the family and all. So that's what I'll wrap up with this evening. Thank you all very much for your time and your patience with us, and we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Sorry.
We are adjourned. Thank you.